Hello friends, and welcome to the first episode of The Mad Historian. Today, we're going to be talking about how World War I started and why it became so deadly.
Some of you may know that World War I was one of the most deadly wars in all of human history, with about 15 to 22 million human casualties from all countries combined. However, some of you may not know how the war started. And the crazy thing was that the war actually started because a man decided to eat a sandwich.
That's right. Because a man decided to eat a sandwich, it caused a chain of events to occur, which led to the First World War.
And that man's name was Gavrilo Princip. See, our story begins here, in Austria-Hungary of Europe in 1914. And a part of Austria-Hungary was Bosnia, located here. Now, the ethnic Serbians living in Bosnia didn't want to live in Austria-Hungary, so some of them formed the Black Hand terrorist group, whose symbol is shown here. Now, the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, Franz Ferdinand, decided that it would be a good idea to go to Bosnia to keep the peace over there. But if you try to ride in a convertible in a place where the people hate you and have formed a deadly and violent terrorist group dedicated to defying you in any way possible and you think you're gonna survive, good luck, pal. And so it was. Franz Ferdinand went to Sarajevo and drove around a little bit. Inevitably, though, Franz was targeted by Black Hand assassins who threw bombs at his car. However, they missed and hit some officers behind the Archduke instead. Now, instead of leaving Sarajevo, Franz Ferdinand decided to head back to the city to visit the injured officers from the previous assassination attempt. Now, the hospital is located right here, but first, let's talk about Schiller's. Ah, Schiller's, the perfect place to quench your ever-voracious appetite. Come on in, grab a bite. If you're hungry, then you should come to Schiller's Sandwiches to fill that belly. And that was what was playing in young Gavrilo's mind. After failing to assassinate the Archduke, Gavrilo trudged down to Schiller's to grab a bite. But what was that he heard? The Archduke was coming back down this route? Gavrilo looked at his pistol that he had hidden in his coat and grinned. This was it, the final test. He took one deep breath and fired onto the Archduke and his wife Sophie, killing them both. Now, the Austro-Hungarians were pretty pissed about this. And so they declared war on Serbia since they believed that Serbia had been negotiating with the Black Hand terrorist group to assassinate the Archduke. Now, due to the alliance system, which was a partnership system between countries, one country was obligated to join another country's war should they declare war. Now, Austria-Hungary was allies with Germany, and Serbia was allies with Russia, and Russia was allies with France, so they all pulled their allies into the war together. And there you have it, one of the deadliest wars in all of human history, caused by some incredible coincidences and lots of mistakes. Eventually, countries like Great Britain and the United States would eventually join the war, and at the very end, 22 million lives would be lost. But as the war rages in Europe, a new superpower emerges elsewhere. I shall be covering this new topic in my next episode of The Mad Historian, so don't forget to stay tuned for the next episode of The Mad Historian.